I'm Natalie Portier, and today I will be talking about evolution of mobile advertisement. How did we get where we are, and what's next? We have some exciting opportunities right now to shape up the ad tech world. By show of hands, well, I am Chief Operating Officer of Apodil, and by show of hands, who knows about Apodil? Who knows what it is? Oh, excellent, thank you. Apodil right now has over 4,500 publishers. And those publishers trust Apodil with monetizing their 29,000 apps. And over 250 million monthly active users are being served with over 9 billion monthly impressions. Before I'm going to jump into the future and reveal the big, bright future, I am going to focus on the past a little bit. Because as my history professor said, there is no, well, for those who don't know their past, they don't deserve to live in the future. Back in the days, when we had only a few ad networks to work with, there were not so many ad networks, and it was very easy to monetize. It was very easy to decide which networks is going to get which impressions. We would evaluate the historical data of each ad network over the last several days or several weeks, and we placed the most profitable ad network that brought us most money on top of the waterfall. The second profitable on the second place, and so on until we filled all our impressions. Still, even some publishers built the in-house mediations that are still working automatically on this algorithm. And some mediations actually still work on this algorithm as well. However, it's not very accurate. It's not the best model to work on. It actually leads to several problems. It only relies on the historical data. Historical data is extremely inaccurate. Why? It doesn't show the campaigns that came in. Doesn't show the new advertisers with the new eCPMs that came in. It doesn't allow the ad network with the poor eCPM, yesterday poor eCPM, take the top waterfall because today they have a new campaign. This model also doesn't offer any of the performance breakdown. You don't know what happened. You don't know what kind of ads you served. Maybe one ad, maybe ad network A had eCPM, historical eCPM of $10. Maybe that led to one ad being converted at $10 eCPM, and 999 ads actually go to waste and yield you $0. You don't know that, and you place that ad network as your top ad network. Some mediation offered quick fixes. We want to introduce, not introducing, but we started to operate on ad placements and frequency cap. What does it mean? We separated those ad impressions into 3 different piles. We put the most profitable pile in the first pile, which was only the first impressions. Those impressions are the most valuable ones. Those are the ad impressions that are going to be seen the first time by the pair of eyeballs that are not annoyed by the ads yet. Those are impressions that have higher chance of actually converting. Those impressions pay the most. This waterfall was built based on the tiers of impressions. Only set of networks would go and fill the first tier of impressions, and the set of networks with the medium eCPM will fill the second tier of impressions, and the leftover impressions will go to the other sets of networks. This model actually did offer better value for supply and demand. It created higher revenues for the supply. It created a chance for the ad networks to actually fill multiple positions in a waterfall and fill more impressions. But it still relies on the historical data. It still doesn't see what is going to happen. It still doesn't see the eCPMs of the new campaigns that just came in. And again, there is no performance breakdown for the impressions. To fix some of those challenges and inefficiencies, the third generation of EdTech was introduced. Some of the ed networks started to allow publishers create price floors. What do I mean by that? What are the price floors? I don't know if some of you know what those are. RTB exchanges work on price floors. They work on the hard price floors. What it means is that RTB exchange accepts only those ads that pay certain amount of eCPM and skips over all of the other ones. The soft price floors, though, that are accepted by ad networks are only estimated price floors. This is a suggestion by a publisher what their ad impressions are worth. Ad networks do not only have a chance to fill certain impressions. Ad networks also have a chance to choose which impressions to fill. For example, what I mean, if you're a publisher, you set up a eCPM of $15 to fill all of the ad impressions for your American users that that use iOS system. You set up the $15 eCPM. You, as a network, do not want to fill all of the American users for this eCPM. You only want to fill the campaigns that are going to be in New York City and San Francisco. And you have a chance to do this, finally, with this model. Now I'm going to show you the example of soft price floor flat waterfall. We build a flat waterfall now. Imagine two ad networks. Ad network A exclusively operates on historical data and sets up, and the average eCPMs of this ad networks are $7.02, $6.83, and $2.15 eCPM for the past few weeks. However, the ad network B does accept the price floors that are set up by publishers. Those price floors are $7, $6, and $3 eCPM. Normally, what would happen is the ad network A has the higher probability of giving out the best results of $7.02 CPM. Thus, all of the impressions are going to go to the ad network A. And only after this ad network runs out of all of the impressions, the ad impressions are going to be filled by ad network B. The flat waterfall built here is actually fixes this. We fill only the first tier of impressions by the ad network A. And ad network B fills the rest, the second tier of impressions, and so on. It is more logical. The ad network B has a chance to enter the waterfall earlier and actually take the multiples position in this waterfall. This model finally defeated historical inaccuracy of data. We no longer rely on the history. We no longer need to know how much we paid last week for this user. What we need to know is what kind of campaigns we have right now, and what are we ready to pay for a certain impression. Ad networks are also able to take multiple positions in waterfall. This model, though, has a few downsides. Because of the bids, because we allow ad networks a bid, the ad networks are so eager to get on top of the waterfalls that they are willing to overbid each other, and they're willing to overbid themselves even to get on top of that waterfall. And this creates a slow app performance. This slows down the app so much that it's no longer a reliable model. The fourth generation was offered, and we are going to call it the dynamic price floor generation. It is going to fix a few challenges from the previous model, and here's how it's going to work. Imagine that you are an ad network that is able to fill the impressions at the top price floor of $11.30. by your advertisers. But the publisher sets up prices of $12, $10, $8, and so on. You don't have enough eCPM to fill the first position. Sadly, you don't get that first impression. But you do have enough money to get the second position. But there's a competing ad network that operates on the historical performance of $10.20. And that is number 2 in the waterfall. So all of the impressions goes to this ad network instead of you, although you're willing to pay up to $11.30. Now, if you're a network that accepts, that supports the dynamic price floors, you perceive this. You see the $10.20 historical performance of the ad network B, and you overbid them by 1 cent, and putting yourself in front of the line and getting the great impressions. Dynamic price floors will always win the auction. It will always overbid the historical performance. It will overbid the other ad networks. It will not spend a lot of money because it actually sees how much is spent. It will overbid 1 cent. It will get great impressions for less money. But with all of the bids and all of the cached ads, it will slow down the ad performance. Now, I am happy to propose and go over a new model that is very logical and that will fix the challenges from the previous model and from all the models described before. The next generation will involve soft header bidding. Ad mediator here plays a role of a judge. The judge gets to decide who's going to get the impression. But not only it gets to decide, it's going to communicate with the ad networks over server to server, over API, without pre-caching all the ads. Imagine the perfect world where all of the ad networks actually do support the dynamic price floors. They all overbid each other until they run out of all the advertisers' money. They overbid each other, getting all of the big chaotic ad impressions. And the soft bidder here is going to fix that. Here's an example. A publisher sets up a $10 eCPM, a soft price floor. 2 ad networks enter the auction at $17 and $15 soft bid. Normally, biologically, of course, the ad impressions are going to be filled by ad network A, which just bid $17 eCPM. Well, ad mediator, that is a judge, actually will analyze the performance and the actual eCPM paid versus the soft-bidded eCPMs. And it will see that ad network A normally yields about 20% less than the soft bid they place, but the ad network B normally yields 5% more than their soft bid. After simple calculations, you guys can do the math. After the very simple calculations, it is easy to understand that probability of the actual eCPM is higher from the soft bidder from the ad network B. Thus, the ad network B wins the placement. So here, how it's going to work. When a user launches the app, all of the SDKs of the ad networks that are working with this ad mediator will be activated. Ad mediator SDK also will be activated. The ad mediator SDK will send the request over API to the ad networks and apply the analysis to the bids. After the analysis is performed, the winner will be determined. And only then the SDK of the winning ad network will be allowed to cache the ad and get the ad placement. What do we have here? This model gets rid not only of historical data inaccuracy, it also gets rid of waterfalls. All of the ad networks are able to enter the auction at the same time it no longer matters if there is waterfall. It no longer matters what kind of campaigns you had before. It no longer matters who you are. You have equal rights to enter the auction. You have equal rights to place the bids. The inefficient bids are eliminated by the mediator, by the judge, who actually sees, oh, is this bid inflated or is this real? It could be real, so it's accepted. If it's inflated, it goes to the junk folder. It also doesn't slow down the app performance no longer, because it communicates with the networks over API. If you would like to learn more about this and read the white paper introduced by Apodil, go to the bit.ly link that is Future by Apodil, or send us an email at hi@apodil.com, and we will take care of you. Thank you.